Welcome to Permacal Memories Podcast. I am Lance, our Jelly, our Prince, as most Permacal people know me. My co-host is Philip, our Any Fowl, as most Permacal people know him. Our mission on this podcast is to explore Permacal, a small community in the Kingston 20 area, surrounded by Mar Valley, Roseland, just across the Washington Boulevard, Patrick City, just across the Sandy Gully Bridge, and Arlene Gardens became the epicenter for football or soccer, as some people know it, in the early 1970s. Permacal was also home of some of the most legendary entertainers and musicians of that era. I was still going to Permacal Primary when every single Sunday a triple header was held. One morning match and two evening match was played to a capacity crowd at the corner of Permacal Drive, now Kennel Drive, and Calvick Avenue. These teams, Patosi Rovers, Carawina, Asphalt, Covey, El Furto, and Dreads, was joined by Mar Valley Wenden to play in the Permacal Corner League tournament. And every baller in Jamaica at the time wanted to play in a Permacal Corner League to showcase them skills as the first officially organized football tournament in Jamaica. In these conversations, we hope to capture the memories of players, supporters, and any member of the Permacal community, male or female, who want to come and share their stories. Your feedback and support will be greatly appreciated on whatever social media platform you might be listening. Thanks in advance. So, remember to like, share, and subscribe these Permacal Memories conversations so neither you nor your friend can miss another episode. Thanks. And go. Today is Sunday, May 26, 2024. And welcome back to another conversation about Permacal Memories. Me as usual, Lance, our Jelly, our Prince, and anyone that those names will do. Joining me, and I'm not here, might come in later on, is my friend from Ida Oneya, Permacal and Calvick Avenue. I'm on the start the Permacal Memories conversation with Philip, our Any Fowl. Also during the conversation, he's coming in shortly as well. He's a man who reached out to me out of the blue. Once him first, he hear the first podcast. I was a guest on episode number 3 and has been a regular co-host on a number of these conversations. Andre Taylor Dampill, or John Dampill as he was known in his Permacal days. And you should go back and listen to episode number 3 and hear Andre tell his own Permacal memories in his own words. And of course, like, share, and subscribe while you listen back to Andre's Permacal. Also joining us for this conversation is Rudolph Thumper Tony Kamika, and he has been a regular member of this podcast since he came on, just like Andre, and gave his own Permacal memories way back on episode 15 with his good friend Danny Green. And you should also go back and listen to that conversation with Thumper and Danny Green, and listen and subscribe while you listen to both Thumper and Danny Green. Again, I'm on Permacal Memories, episode number 15, and I'm on words. Our guest today epitomizes the closeness and the camaraderie we had for each other at Permacal. He resided at 2 Annandale Avenue, which was 1 block away from his cousins who live on Aqualita Vale. His maternal uncle, Noel Margaret, and I hope I'm not massacring the name, but we get to that, he will correct me, lived at the corner at Chico Close on Permacal Drive, now Kennel Drive. Our guest started Permacal Primary in 2nd grade, and I was a student of that legendary teacher, Mrs. Scott. He also went to Permacal Secondary, as it is known at the time, because by that time it looked like that dropped the name Junior Secondary, because that's what it originally had, Permacal Junior Secondary, and it had yet to take on the name we have now, which is Permacal High School. His family moved to Duane Park and eventually to Britain, and he went on to St. George's College, and he has fond memories of living in Permacal, and also a sister community of Duane Park, which will make this conversation more interesting, because we'll have a perspective of what it was like growing up in both communities. But without further ado, the man they have to tell him one story. Permacal Memories, welcome. Thumper cousin, the one and only Tibab McNeish, And Tibab is not a nickname, because as I said to me, my father was a Rastafari. So maybe our guest can shed some light on the meaning of that name. Tibab, introduce yourself, my brother.
Yes. Thank you very much, Brother Lance and Tompa. Yeah, my name Tibab is an Amharic name, and it means wisdom, and it's pronounced Tibab.
Hold
And
so Howard come, I can bring him in. Hold on, I can bring him in.
yeah, man.
Howard Clark. I don't have a name like a man from Permica. That's a poke in the name.
Right.
Howard.
Yeah, how y'all doing?
Welcome. We're doing the introduction already, but I'm the introducer. This is Howard Clark. Tibab introduce you. Give me your credentials.
I think Howard and Spike Lee are friend, you know. You know, so why one of them Spike Lee movie them are going with.
Yes.
It's like Denzel Washington walking down the street.
Howard, make I clarify something. Make I clarify something up front. Because I have a man named, a very popular man named Permical who passed recently. Pokey, who sleep on Permical Drive. Howard Clark is the name too. But this is not
the same. Really?
Yeah, man. Yes, him have a whole brother. Yeah, man.
Well, let me pinch myself. I think I'm alive. Yeah, but hey, I'm kind of happy that I get a chance to be really on this forum. You know, and I don't know what Tibab, I'd explain as a fourth. I had my wife. She's more computer savvy than I am. I'm supposed to be computer savvy because I just retired as an architect.
Okay.
And a planner.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, I need to talk to you, Mr. Clark, because I recently retired too, but I start a group of real estate people. I have a contractor. I have a few people, and we want to do management advisory services. You know. So where you based?
I actually live in Florida.
Okay, then my Florida, I'm there too, man.
Oh, really? Wow, that's a small world. Yeah,
man. With their sunrise, you know.
Sunrise?
Yeah, man. I've been living in Florida since 1987.
Sunrise, I live.
See there?
Yeah, I live in Sunrise. Yeah.
All right, look
all right.
Send me the check afterward. Both on send me the check, the introductory check.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
Definitely. And also, Tompa Howard is also a relative, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll explain how that blood relation work out later. I'll give you a talk.
So continue with Tibab. Howard, wait, just give me a little briefing of yourself now.
Yeah. Thank you, Tompa. Just tell me, because Tibab introduced me as you're a historian from Dwayne Park.
Well, what happened? I have a book I'm supposed to coming out with, but I keep on delayed. But now since I'm retired, the name of the book is Dwayne Park: The Making and Breaking of a Suburban Community.
Nice.
But before I go, I went to Permical Junior Secondary School when it started, 1969, when they built Junior Park Junior Secondary School. I went to Dwayne Park Primary initially first, and then I went to Permical Junior Secondary School. No, Junior Secondary School is very unique because at that time, when they built that school, we were just, we had just got Jamaica, had gotten, the independence, 1962. And a lot of the people, when, our family, when they finished school, not everybody had a chance to go to either high school, know. So, so a lot of people get the chance to go to what they call secondary school, education. So it was good when they came in and give them a chance, because after you finish, primary school, that was it for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So they had another chance to go to a secondary education. I don't think they have junior secondary schools again.
No.
That name went away. As I did mention.
Fix the camera a little bit. So your face.
Yes.
Yeah. Much better.
Perfect.
Oh yeah. So you see the gray face now. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So I guess the topic is really on corner league
No, the topic, let me brief you. The topic basically is about Pembroke memories, Howard. But
yeah,
Corner League and the foundation, because we talk, and we both answer Pembroke the original Corner League. I hear that you might have some contrary evidence. We say, doing the part Corner League started before Pembroke one, but as usual. But we get tonight.
We can't toss it up. What happened to the unique thing about it, and about Pembroke too, which is very, very important, is that you know, in when the whole development of these housing development in Pembroke and so forth started really 1957. 1951. We had a hurricane they called Hurricane Charlie. And when Hurricane Charlie came through, what is that? It destroyed Kingston, the eastern portion, St. Mary and so forth. Yeah. Hurricane Charlie. So they decided that they have to rebuild, rebuild back, those areas. And in the process of trying to rebuild those areas, one of the first places that they had a hurricane commission, and I think the governor's name was Governor Hugh Foote. You can look it up, Hugh Foote, and he said, "Hey,
but correct about that. You correct about that, Howard. Yeah, I'm aware of that.
Yeah, and it's this. So the hurricane commission said they were going to build it, but they were only thinking about the British subject, people who live in the thing. So the first place that they built was Mona Heights. They started building Mona Heights. There was housing development, but they had other areas, because before, you had Denham Pen, before it became Denham Town, and you had Strange Pen, and the name Pen, when you think about Pen, those were like farmland. And you had Banker Wall.
Hold on, Howard. I don't want you going out too much, because maybe what for a table for you come back and just, I want to see in the conversation. But you look like you have a whole question. I like pick your brain separately and apart from. Cause I don't want to see Tibab show. Cause this.
And the way and the knowledge what you bring come will definitely steal Tibab.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Because I want to go to the Corner League thing too.
No, I'm going there. No.
Wait, we're gonna get this one.
We'll get this one. But I want Tibab. I just about to Tibab introduce himself. Because I did the introduction already, and you come in afterwards, and you introduce yourself, and as we said, this is an informal discussion, not official. We just talk like what happened with veranda on a phone call. This is what I said to you. I'm going to record it. I'm going to put it out there as a podcast. I've done one of podcasts have come up before. I was saying a couple of them, and then we definitely have to set a date for you come back, because a historical man like you that I like pick. But team, not me one, the team that I like pick your brain, because I have one issue what we want to find out about. But I don't want to steal Tibab too. Make Tibab go, because him invite you, him set up this, and then him say, you want to come in. And I say, I could have said another thing for you, but you graciously come in, Howard. So I'm not going
to... yes.
Yeah, man. So I want to participate in the conversation and see how the conversation go with Tibab. And you chime in anytime you want to chime in, and then the question you want to ask. So,
it's on the floor.
So Tibab, all right. Thank you for the introduction with Howard. And you say you're Howard, a cousin, a relative. But you know, if we're going to that, to go more to the conversation. Introduce yourself. You like to talk about your name and where your name come from. When Howard comes.
My father was a Rastafarian, and he gave me the name Tibab. And my middle name is Zari. So Tibab Zari is my name. And it means wisdom today. That was my birth name. And I grew up, I was born on a 24-year Russell Road in Kingston. And from there, went to Renfield Drive, which I think is off Mollines Road. And then Red Hills Road. And then from there, we went to Pembroke Hall. And then from there, we went to Pembroke Hall. I remember going to Pembroke Hall Primary. I have fond memories of Pembroke Hall Primary, where I had met Everett Bowley. I met and befriended Anthony Grayson, several others.
The Rock.
Richard Henney.
The Rock.
Fidel. Yes.
Fidel Coleman.
Yes, AJ Rock, yeah. Fidel, yes. Richard Henney. Hayden
Richard
Wins.
who?
Phil Ola brother. Phil Ola brother.
Okay.
Yeah, lights.
Yeah,
lights.
man, brown youth, man.
Yeah, man,
yeah.
we know Phil. Yeah, we know Richard.
Phil, I'm a co-host, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And Courtney Forrester, and Andrew Shelley, Ricardo Blair, Joshua Champagny, Andrew Horton, quite a few others. I remember Forbes, but I remember Forbes was at Pembroke Hall Secondary when I was there. I don't remember Forbes being at Pembroke Hall Primary School.
Yeah, he was at the primary.
But when I was
younger than you, yeah.
Yes, yeah. I remember Miss Campbell being the principal when I was there. Yeah. I remember people like Robert Webster. I think Robert Webster ended up going to KC for the most part. But Rock and I would participate in the singing competition, the choir singing competitions at Little Theatre, at Ward Theatre from time to time when we were in the 6th grade with Miss Miller.
Mm-hmm.
I remember those days. It was wonderful. I remember when we would buy patties 2 blocks over from Potosi Avenue. I remember that. I remember when we would make sojourns into Marvelly and pick wild plums. I remember those days.
What a cool plum you call it, Tibab? What kind of plum you call it?
A small white one.
Yeah, man.
Not the
Not the red one.
Not the long red one, you know.
I know where you talk. Yeah.
The slimy one,
yes.
them.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Tibab, when you first come to Pembroke Hall, what was your impression? Pembroke Hall.
Yeah, how old you were when you come to Pembroke Hall?
Goodness, I'd say probably about 6, 5 or 6.
I moved from Redfield Drive, you say, yeah.
Yes. And Pembroke Hall was a delightfully kind of placid community. I would visit my cousins Tompa them on the adjacent street on Aqualita Vale. It was a peaceful community, to be honest with you. I had a sense that
break up,
Tibab. So closer to your mic.
You can. Oh?
Break up.
Oh dear.
Yeah, go ahead.
That sounds good.
Okay, yes. And the neighborhood struck me as being not that I had a sense of what middle class meant, right, at that age, but I had a sense that there was some level of, from my perspective, as affluence in Pembroke Hall. I remember going to parties, or at least being on the periphery of house parties there. I remember I used to sing at one point, and I was handled by Earl Sutton, who later became a junior tucker. This was
break up again.
Mm-hmm. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, put something in the background.
Oh dear. Oh no.
Yeah, you're the music in the background, Tompa.
No, me hear music, but not me.
Yeah, I hear the background.
Well, I have on the television.
Yeah,
can mute it a little.
You turn it off.
Yeah.
Sometimes it interferes the connection. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, much better, Tibab. Yeah.
Right. I remember running up and down on Annandale Avenue. I remember getting into fights with Ronnie Bop. That is Neville Naphtali's little brother.
Mm-hmm.
Neville Naphtali.
So we had to do a top 20. One of the best.
So those were fun memories of primary school.
Jalen Johnson took flight.
Yeah. So hold on, where you come at Pembroke Hall, Tibab? What year you say it was?
And threw down a couple of.
Oh my God! I was 7 years old, and I'm 62 now. So
So you come there. Where you come there?
Yeah.
Where you come there? In the corner league, they play the field. In the football, they play the field at the time you come there.
No, I didn't see it. that time. No. The Corner League began to appear, I'd say, by the time I was in grade 5 or 6 in primary school. And that's when I saw the Corner League come into existence. I would actually go up to the field at the top of Pembroke and watch those matches. I would peer through the fence, or if I can get inside between the boundary between the fence and the boundary of the football field, I would stay and watch the matches. I remember them.
But you know what, Tibab, initially the fence wasn't there, no? The fence came afterwards, you know?
Oh, yeah, afterwards. Yeah, you're right. I remember the fence.
So who are some of the neighbors that you meet when you come to Pembroke?
Let's see. I knew, well, of course, Neville Naphtali, the Downers. I knew them.
Yeah.
Who else? Anthony Grayson, but he was further up. He was further up on Annandale Avenue. Yeah. The other neighbors, I can't really remember by name.
The Grays from one of Pembroke to us, the Grays.
Stephen Gray.
The Grays.
Stephen.
Wait a minute. Did they live next to Never? Did they live next to Ronnie Bop?
I don't know if they live next, but I'm not missing the road out of course. Going out of course.
Yeah, the eldest sister was married to Paul Bennett, Richard Bennett, brother. Madeline.
And she was an English lady.
They're actually Germans, you know.
A German, really, yeah?
Yeah.
Stephen and Carlton Gray. Stephen was the older one. And to them, I realized that the older sister. I never know that term.
Yeah.
But never call the sister.
Yeah. The son, she have a son named Hans Bennett. Paul Bennett.
Okay. That's the older sister,
Yeah.
But sorry, Tibab, continue. And you say you had an uncle live a Chico close.
That's all right, man.
On Pembroke Drive.
Yes. That's our great uncle.
And the thing is, Lance, me never remember that at all. I remember his sister or aunt living in Zadie Gardens.
Yeah.
But I didn't remember, because the mortgage is my grandmother's side, from my father's mom.
So the name is not pronounced mortgage Thumper and Tibab?
Yeah.
Mortgage, yeah, really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. My grandmother is Evelyn Mortgage.
Yep. That's my great aunt.
That's an unusual name. Yeah.
Yes. It's an Irish name. It's pronounced mortgage.
Yes.
The Irish people then pronounce it mortgage. Yes.
So you came to Pembroke. You have any brothers and sisters who came to Pembroke already? Who are you come to Pembroke?
No, my sister went to the basic school at the top of Annandale Avenue. The basic school that was behind the church.
Yeah, that's
my
Aqualita.
Sister went to that.
That's Aqualita.
Yeah. Yes. Princess went to that basic school. But eventually,
Princess went to Holy Childhood, right?
Yes. She went to Duhaney Park Primary School and then Holy Childhood. And Michael, my brother, also went to Duhaney Park Primary. Because remember, there was a time when we left Pembroke Hall,
Right.
But I was still attending Pembroke Hall Primary, and subsequently I went to Pembroke Hall Secondary. But Princess, my sister, and my brother, Duhaney Park Primary School, and then from there.
Break up again.
Respectively.
Good.
Yeah, go ahead.
That good. That was good just now.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, hold on. Let me get it straight, Tibab. You had one sister and one brother who lived there at Pembroke.
Actually, 5 of us. One sister, 4 brothers, and the eldest, and my sister follows me.
Okay. So name them out there. Let me ask you what your brother and sister them. Name them out. Let me get them. My Pembroke people, if them know them.
Sure. Okay. My brother, my sister follows me is Princess Desta McNeish.
the best is
Follow her. McNeish.
Yeah, break up again.
After that, Michael McConnell. That's Michael Temper.
Yeah, mad temper.
Yeah, exactly. And then after Miami, Kwame Jomo McNeish. And they all went with the exception of Paul. Well, Paul and Michael and Princess went to Duhaney Park Primary, and Paul and Kwame went to Bridgeport Primary School.
Who's your father?
Eric Mako McNeish. Eric Mako McNeish, Pan-Africanist, a friend of Trevor Monroe, journalist.
He was at the Gina Company?
Yes, he was. And after he left Gleaner, he started a newspaper called Sports and Arts. And as well as Jamaica Beat.
Yeah.
And you say in the introduction you sent me, your bio you sent me to Bob. You say father was a Ras. Well, he's no longer a Ras?
No, he transitioned. But in his heart, he was still a Rastafarian.
Oh, no longer here then. Okay, I got you. Not here with us no more. I got you.
Yeah, it's no longer here. So they called him Mako.
Mako. Yeah.
Yeah, and the name is actually spelled N-I-S-H as opposed to N-E-I-S-H.
You mean the McNeish or the Mako?
Yeah, it should actually be M-C-N-I-S-H. But Mommy put in the E inside of it and said there should be an E in it. And she's correct to a certain degree, but the most ancient spelling is N-I-S-H, McNeish.
So the spelling where you send when you put out the podcast, you have to give me the correct spelling. That's all right, right here. But me talk to you about it
no problem.
Me talk to you about it after here.
No problem. But McNeish is what I go by.
Yeah, man. No, you want to go by more here. We talk to you about it after here. Afterwards, we talk about it. We talk about it after.
Yeah.
So, Howard, you have any question? You have any question for Tibab in our early Pembroke years before?
Yeah, well, not really. Yes, just cause you said you went to Pembroke to the primary school.
Yes.
And then after that, you went to the junior secondary school.
Yes.
So you tried from primary to the junior secondary, and then after that, you went. After you leave the junior secondary, where you went?
Okay, I went to George's. I actually left. Yes. Mm-hmm. Instead of on to 11th grade, I just went straight into 5th at George's.
So 5th grade, yeah. So because what happened, what I found is that a lot of people would live in within that area, within the Marvelly, Pembroke Hall, and they either went to Calabar or Camperdown or something to that effect, not to the KCs and so forth.
I want to tell you, I go to the KC man not on here, because I'm going to take cover to that,
But to be truthful, there were a lot of Georges and KC man in a Pembroke.
Oh yeah, there were a lot. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Wooly. And for the record, what school you went to?
Well, after leaving Pembroke, I went to Kingston Technical.
Okay, you went to Pembroke, junior secondary at the time, and then Kingston Technical. Which a lot of people did. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Continue.
You got a good school, man.
I don't know if it's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, it was good. I think it's good because we were taught that the only education, tertiary education, is if you go to a KC, JC, George's, and nobody didn't think they were supposed to go to a technical school to learn technical training.
Right.
Well, I can tell you this: my brothers, and my father and my uncles were all going to technical school after Aloysius. We went to Aloysius, right?
Yeah.
And then what happened now, when my teacher in 4th grade told me that I'm not going to follow my brothers. I was the youngest brother. She said, you better take the common entrance.
Right.
You saw me look on it. I went to look on it, Howard. I think the number should have flipped now. I think the emphasis should have been sending most of us to technical school instead of to art school. Jamaica be a better place. Jamaica be a better place.
Yeah, I never took the common entrance because I got sick.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it's frightening. Because that frightened the hell out of us. The common entrance, because people had to go, you have to look and see if you pass common entrance, to that effect.
Right.
Yeah. And I kind of mentioned about it too. Yeah.
My brother, my Billy, Tibab, no. Billy went to school at Kingston Technical with Tuffy, one of the top electricians come out of the school, Muta Baruka.
Went to Kingston Technical, yes.
Yeah.
And all of them used to be at my house and hang out. Then my brother and him Kingston Technical guys, them build a lot of the tube amp, them were a lot of this sound system them use. King Tubby's, Emperor Fate, and then build the amps for them.
I think, as I say, I will repeat, I think the emphasis should have been more on technical skill. If should have been a 50-50. Not where 90%, 90% of the people must say, they need to go become lawyer and doctor. A foolishness, sorry. We need to only more technical people for money. Architect like yourself, or what? But so, which part of Dwayne Park you used to live? What area?
Well, I didn't live down. I didn't live in a street named Bunyan Christian. So would that be my brain is gone? Or that is more like the eastern part. At Dwayne Park, because they have two types of Dwayne Park in there. You have one we call the top field and the bottom field. The top field is where you have like Sherlock Crescent, where all the war and the fighting is.
Yes.
That's what I'm going to say. You have Sherlock hunting there. What other one?
Brook Valley. Yeah. Sherlock and Brook Valley. And then you have the other part because my book talk about how Dwayne Park developed. And I do talk about Pembroke Hall. So, did I introduce myself? I didn't, right?
Go ahead, man. You can do it again, man.
Yeah, man. Good timing to introduce.
Okay, let me tell you. Yeah. Of course, my name. I'm related per se to Tibab and so forth. Because we found out later that we were relatives and so forth. And when I was growing up, I came to Dwayne Park. Dwayne Park was built was actually built 1964, and I came 19.
It's been after Pembroke.
Pembroke came before it.
Yeah.
Pembroke came before it, and I'm going to tell you how Pembroke was built too. So I came, I came 1964. My grandfather came. I went, before I was living in Mountain View Avenue. And we leave from there and live and Russell Road too.
Yeah, like
that mentioned too. Our family was moving up and down. And I came to Dwayne Park 1964, went to school. Dwayne Park, actually primary school came around 1966. And then 1969 they built Pembroke Junior Secondary School. When they built Junior Secondary School, that was when I came there. You have 7, 8, and 9th grade. That's it, the 9th grade achievement test, and went to Kingston Technical High School. But Pembroke is a very unique, community, because, and that's what I want to, because I do mention it too, because Dwayne Park was built as a housing scheme, right? And Mona Heights and Harbour View. They were the scheme, not development scheme. Pembroke was the housing development, because when people came through, it didn't come through as the housing scheme per se. Was a guy named Patrick Chung.
Yeah.
Was a developer. And what happened? He got the money to build that entire development. Patrick Chung, a Chinese man. And when he came in and they were people, middle class or people who had money come in and were building Pembroke, start building homes in Pembroke. And then what happened? He took some of that money and was fully building Pembroke. Finished building it. So there was a lawsuit against Patrick Chung. If you go to the Gleaner report, you should do a research in it. You know, Gleaner archive.
Yeah.
And a lawsuit. And you'll find out that there was a lawsuit against him because he starts screwing up.
Hold on, Howard. I want to hold your thought because I bring up something I want to just clarify. It's a housing scheme versus housing development. From my understanding, the way I say, Permacal started out like how Evandale and Meadowbrook eventually build out.
Yeah.
When you build your own house, you come and build your, but because of Patrick Chung swindling the people, what the word did I use, Thumper? What the word did I use?
Yeah, that's a good word. That's a good word.
Yeah, in kind of swindle. But I want, so that I don't talk without facts. So that I tell you to go to the Gleaner archive.
No, man, we love that. We love that. But we'll take your word.
Nice. Gleaner archives, and then you're going to find out information is there.
Yeah.
You know, with the lawsuit with Patrick Chung. That's the name Patrick City come about.
I was about to ask about Patrick City.
Money.
I'm going to build Patrick City.
And build Patrick City.
I'm buying land over Patrick City. Patrick City was a housing development
Patrick City and start the developments there too.
Same concept like Evandale and Meadowbrook, yes. Because even right now, empty land there Patrick City we don't build out at all. Right now, yeah.
We don't build out as a fort.
Yeah.
But one of the so those were some of the developments where they were doing the Pembroke. Marvelly, which is right beside Pembroke. It was built because it was built as a campground. Because what happened after the hurricane, what happened? They had to carry people, people to go there to live. So they were building tents.
Oh, like a hurricane relief house.
Staging, yeah.
Place, yeah. So that's how Marvelly started. And they start building it, but Marvelly was different from Pembroke because if you have a little money, a little change, you either go and build your house, do a development and build your home. Another place that they start doing it was a place named Washington
Garden. Yeah.
Washington Garden.
That's not a scheme either.
No, development.
I understand the difference. Yeah.
If you notice, a lot of notable people went to Pembroke.
Yeah.
Because they get a little money, they went to Pembroke and so forth, and they went to Washington Garden.
Yes.
Why they went to there? Because if you have a money, one of the first people go there was a guy named Bonnie Grant.
Yeah, man. Yeah. The boxer.
The boxer.
Yeah, he went to Washington Garden.
You know, at the bottom of Wilmot Drive, yes. Near River.
Yeah, the bottom there.
Yeah.
And then what's his name? A guy named Rodney who worked with Coxton went to Pembroke.
You know,
Coxton deliver Pembroke.
Yeah, you know something, Tibab, you bring a very valid point I know now. And I need to check the issue, you're valid. But I'm going to tell you why. I was speaking to, and in podcast I come out it, Miss Palmer, grandson, and him say, him have the title for the house at Pembroke on Calvert Avenue. And him have the title, I say, 1954 Thumper. So that me, I
say, tell him, I have the title for my house at Pembroke.
But me, I say, all the titles are 1954, and I say, people never move until 1960 as far as me concerned. But you go ahead and give me the issue. So
you buy the land.
But no, so we have the house built from Pembroke from the 50s then, Howard.
Yeah, because 1951.
Hurricane, yes. So it's not far-fetched.
August 17, 1951, a Friday night, they had a hurricane. Them time nobody had no hurricane warning. Everybody was the place to mess up. And then it went and destroyed Kingston and all them places. Some man have to rush from Kingston and come further up to the Ligony Plain.
Yeah.
So that's why it started because Pembroke and them place was Plum Bush.
Yeah.
You see, those were the places so people start move up to those places because everybody they live in Kingston.
Yeah. And Kingston proper. Like no people think Kingston and St. Andrew are one place, but Kingston proper Howard. Kingston in when the road name Slipen Road.
Yeah.
Kingston and St. Andrew bringing that. But a bar that name forget what about a Slipen Road.
I can't remember because all day just when me forgot look at me note then. Yeah. But so Pembroke, Duane Park, Patrick City, right?
Yeah,
Zadie Garden,
yeah.
Washington Garden.
So
all them places is unique compared to Harborview and all them places, because we had that uniqueness about us, that area. This is where people learning to become middle class, them start learn. You see what I mean?
So my title of 1961 on it, and that's the land portion of it. Because I know we never moved to Pembroke. I wasn't born in Pembroke, and I born 1961. So, and I wasn't born there. So my mother bought the place, the land, in 61, and then she built on it later. Cause I remember she used to save her money in the big mile up on them.
Yeah. So. You know, so
the difference is then, what you're saying now, housing development are like Pembroke, housing scheme.
Pembroke as a foot.
Housing scheme, you buy the house with the land.
But at some point,
No. Housing scheme is different. Housing scheme is built by a developer.
That's what I'm saying.
But at some point, Pembroke was built by developers.
And then all of but after they push out Patrick Chung, developers start coming and start build,
So who come in and start build? That's how when River come in and start build.
We call that because I used to work for a builder developer. We call that builder developer. Them not only develop the land, them also build the house.
Yeah.
That's how we call those builder developer.
Because so what happened was that, you know, some Levant Jews came in the 50s, the Matalands. And a guy named Heron, they came in the 50s and start, you know, because they were Levant Jews, and they came in and they said, hey, and they gave to a guy named Clement Tavares.
That's what Tavares father. Tom Tavares father.
Yeah, but Tavares fencing.
Yeah, man.
Clement Tavares became the prime minister, deputy prime minister, under Donald Sangster.
Yeah.
Right.
But,
Tavares got name after. Well, Pearland there. Yes.
Yeah. So if they have a construction company named Tavares Finson.
Right.
Yes.
Right? If you go back and you research it. So the man come in now, at Tavares, then push out Patrick Chung and say, hey, you're going on with bullshit too. And then gave it to the Matalands them. The Matalands them come in and build Mona Heights first, and then Harborview, then doing the park, then you went then them go over Independence City and start building
right.
And start building those houses. But them call it scheme. Then the word scheme come from the word, it's a British name. When they build houses in England, they don't call it development, they call it schemes. In United States, them call it development. You see what I mean? We use the word development in Jamaica. Some man you come in and just build, a man might come in, a developer might come in and build 3 or 4 houses and sell it to somebody, or you buy your land. So that's what they were doing
I go MDL and Meadowbrook, build out, yes, yeah. You buy your land and you build out on it, yes.
You build your house. So, you know, you can have your design and so forth.
But at some point, Howard, Pembroke looked like it became a housing scheme because all the houses were built the same way.
Yeah, because them put out Patrick Chung.
Patrick.
Yeah, I got it.
Put out Patrick Chung with him build. You must read. I'm telling you, go and read the archive because them start talking about rats and so forth. I just 3 or 4 houses them build, you know. And then they have to push him out, but them get him pocket the money because one of the first architects that Jamaica was another Chinaman. I can't remember his name.
So that in your book. What the title of your book? Are you not a title feature?
Yeah, man. In them doing the park. All I'm putting thing for in them doing the park, the making and breaking of a suburban community.
Lance have a book too, you know.
But it's not
What's your book name, Lance?
My book name, Starting Surprise, is Meadowbrook won 7 schoolboy trophies in the 1980s. My book is a schoolboy book more than say a community book. But I'll be interested. As I say, Howard, is a whole heap of information that I like pick your brain pan. And I do, as I say,
we need you to come on for a separate one.
Thing because I just say, but may I pick your brain a little bit before I go back to Tibab. At what point?
Go ahead.
I'm always curious about this. Me always think the difference between doing the park and Permacar, right? Was doing the park at upstairs and downstairs house. Permacar never built that. Permacar never built none of that at all. Why was that?
That was the best thing ever happened.
The Permacar.
Yeah, don't bring the upstairs thing
right.
That's why my book name. That's why my book is talk about the making and breaking of a suburban community.
Yeah.
Because Dwelly Park was built with what they call bungalow houses.
Yeah.
Bungalow.
You right?
That's an upstairs house then. That's an upstairs house then.
No. Bungalow houses is just single family house, detached houses.
Okay.
Yeah. And then when they build the upstairs houses, the name of it is terrace house.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
This terrace house. So they start building this terrace house because a guy named Robert Moses. And it's very important to listen to this name. This guy named Robert Moses from New York, you know. Robert Moses, him helped build some of the roads them in New York. Write down that name, very important, Robert Moses, because he came to Jamaica. He's a Jewish guy. The Jews, the Sephardic Jews, play a pivotal role in Jamaica.
Yeah.
The Catalans and the Enriquez, because I found out that my father, mother is Sephardic Jew. Right? Yeah, you know, and that's why I found out that shit when I was when I was attacking Jews. And my father said, "Oh, attack Jews and you falling."
You want to get branded anti-Semitic or what? Say
that's another story. I don't want to talk on your part because.
No, behind the paid wall. No, we understand. Behind the paid wall, as we said. Behind the paid wall. Don't worry.
And we edit this before we release.
If anything come up over things,
you can't edit. No. You talk to me off of the phone. Anyway, so what happened is that Robert Moses.
Now you send a blood, not missile film.
Yeah. But let me tell you what happened because this is very important. I think I'm going to tell you. Robert Moses came in. And they brought him to Jamaica and said, boy, this is a new developing country. Let us see what you can do. And him come in, him build the Palisades Road, show them how to build the Palisades Road and the Washington Boulevard.
What road in here before? You remember that road in here before? What?
I can't.
I'm going to talk about it on our podcast. Rally Briscoe talk about it. Right, Briscoe talk about that. We have to listen back. But yeah. Go ahead, Howard. Sorry.
Yeah. And Robert Moses coming, and that's why he had the name Washington Boulevard.
Yeah.
Washington Boulevard is the vertebrae of everything because that's where you have Pembroke Hall. Very important. So there's a guy from New York who come down and said, let's build it. I remember Washington Boulevard, it looked like a big road.
Yeah. I forgot about Trust me, I don't.
You didn't live in New York? You didn't live in New York?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so there's a big community. If it becomes a city effectively, Levittown, right?
Yeah, I know about Levittown. Yeah.
So that are the Jews them building that, and they came to Florida and build a bunch of those communities. So they're very well, versed in what you're talking about. These schemes and developments. Yeah. They're very versed in that.
That's why I talk about. That's why they call. I just retired now, and I talk about how Broward County was built, and I can tell you about Sunrise. How Sunrise was built. Sunrise wasn't built as the name wasn't Sunrise. It was supposed to be Sunset. But they didn't like the name Sunset because it means that old people are going to get death.
Right? Yes. They used to use Platt. Them change that because the Platt sound like dead.
Okay.
So you have all these names. All these cities. The cities were built: Miramar, Hollandale, and all those other cities in Broward County. But those Jewish people, they play. So they, the Matalan them show how they were doing. Levittown, our Duane Park and all those places were built at the old idea levy town too.
Yeah.
These small communities, and within it, it's a well-planned community.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Because Duane Park was built. It had church, it had open spaces, and so forth.
Right.
Listen,
soccer field.
We're going to fully, trust me. You need an expansive podcast for yourself, Howard. Your history and what you know.
Yeah.
Without I forgot to set that time for you.
Somebody, I tell you something, I don't.
Because you know me as a real estate. I
Right,
love the
right.
real estate.
But I'm into music too, because right
Even
now
right.
there is a thing coming out, a movie coming out with this guy named Tariq Nasheed, and it named My Check, and he's saying that Jamaicans them and Puerto Ricans said that they started hip hop, and he's attacking it and so forth. And so some people want me to come on the podcast to talk about it, because yes, we had influence on hip hop too. We didn't start it, but we did have influence on it. It's supposed to be on that podcast to talk about it, because we had Jamaicans who influenced that music, because Tom Bell, you ever heard about Tom Bell?
Yeah, man, Philadelphia.
Tom Bell, right, all the music for Philadelphia. Iman thing there, Gambler.
Yeah, but everybody talk about it, but you had other Jamaican, because you had a person, a lady named The Pass in Motown.
Yeah, man, The Pass. Everybody know The Pass, man.
Jamaica,
that lady, and she was putting, when the Jackson 5 and all those people together, Susan The Pass, she named.
Yeah, man.
She was a Jamaican too. You know?
Man.
Yeah, you had guys from Brass Construction who were Jamaicans, and they hide it and they don't talk about it. So those are some of the things that they want to come on the podcast.
We're going to bring out all that. No, Howard, we're going to bring out all of that, Howard, because I was thinking him Permacard memories, and we're not limited, because you have a whole history to tell about Permacard, and as I said,
because let me tell you about Pembroke and Duane Park and those places. One of the bullshit things people talk about, being musician, they say that, they come from Trenchtown. That's a lie. Because they try to tell people, a lot of those musicians live in Duane Park, Pembroke, and Washington Garden.
Yeah, but it's not, a lot of them come from Trenchtown, too, man.
They came from Trenchtown, and then them leave. And because Trenchtown and Tivoli Garden were back a wall.
Yeah.
Back a wall. And
but a lot of them come out of this and move up.
Yeah, because they had to get out from, so everybody was trying to move out after independence, to move out of the ghetto and come to Duane Park.
Natural progression. Because enough of them left Pembroke and Duane Park and go elsewhere too. You know? After it's a natural progression, man. It's a natural progression.
Yeah, natural progression. But if you think about our music, especially from the rocksteady era, rocksteady was only for a couple of years, from 1968 to 1969, right? But if you look between 1962 to 1964, when independence, a lot of Jamaicans, they were running from Trenchtown and then Penn and all those places, and we're going living in Pembroke, Ken Booth and all of those guys. But they were living Pembroke and Duane Park, Washington Garden, Zadie Garden. That's where they were living.
Let me ask you something, Howard. I mentioned it earliyer. It's like when you say I wouldn't put pen the day of Kingston, like when you go to Spanish Town, it's full of pen.
Yes.
Pen. The word named pen, because people call it hog pen, but that's where people have goat and cow and so forth.
Wow.
There's a book by a guy named Clark, same name like mine, named Kingston, if you could ever get it. Oh boy, my brain is gone.
Yeah, no, your brain is gone, Howard. Trust me, your brain. But let me ask you something. We'll come back to Duane Park and Pembroke. My father had a house, and his sister used to live at 10 Wallace Avenue. That was near the primary school. You know Duane Park? You know Wallace Avenue there?
Yeah, yeah. That's behind you, yeah,
Right beside the primary school. My father, and him sell it in 82, because his sister died in the 60s. But he kept it for a while. But I just say there's two Duane Park. The flat, what you call them, the Tumpa house and nobody.
Bungalows.
Bungalows.
The bungalows.
And then you have the, what you call them, the terraces. And
Terrace house.
And that match up Dwelly Park. And I know, that's how much up Dwelly Park.
Let me tell you what happened. Let me show you what happened. And it never happened. It never happened to Harborview. And never happened to Pembroke Hall and so forth. Dwelly Park was built. Dwelly Park was built by 1964. It was the first phase, right?
Yeah.
1,100 homes. And when they built those 1,100 homes, it looked great, right? Donald Sangster, what you remember 1960? Sangster was the prime minister, and so forth. But he was only there for a year, and then Hugh Shearer came in.
He was. Where about the rumor?
Yeah.
He was killed or he was.
He
was Epstein. Yes.
He and Tavares died quick, right? And then Hugh Shearer became the prime minister, right? So between that time, so it was Norman Manley who built the Mona Heights and so forth.
Yeah.
Not Michael and Norman Manley.
Yeah, man. Yeah, right.
Norman Manley.
Mike Manley was at that time. Yeah.
When Boston. So when they built it, so in the period between 1967, Shearer come in. They said, "Hey, let's start a development. Let's start a new development, right?" And I said, "Okay, oh yes." And I said, "Okay," but they needed to pack it. So because they didn't have that much land, they built terrace homes in England.
Density. They might deal with the density now.
With the density, yeah. Because I have a master's in urban. My undergraduate degree is in
urban development.
What I say?
My master's in urban planning.
I use one of them terminals them that campaign. Them the ones some houses are built by labor, full of people.
Yeah, and then packed. So
I understand.
Terrace house.
Yeah, man.
So they built
outvote.
So
yeah.
They built Sherlock Crescent first, right?
Yeah, man. Yes.
When they built Sherlock Crescent, it wasn't that bad. But so people were living there, and they had what they call, I use the term sense of place, right? Because people were living in Sherlock and so forth. So after they built Sherlock Crescent, 1972, PNP coming back and said, "Ooh, we're going to build some more housing scheme." The third development building was Brook Valley.
No, I get this.
They bring Brook Valley now. So one portion, Sherlock Crescent.
One portion belong to the other color. They politicize the whole place. Yes.
So Sherlock Crescent is JLP, Brook Valley, and a guy named Spardlin, Anthony Spardlin. And him build Brook Valley. And that time the war started. Between 1972, when the S90 scam come in, you remember the song S90 scam? And so and man start. So by 1972 was when them start skylarking, 1971 and all them shot thing there, and all those stuff.
Hold on. Tibab have a question. Go ahead, Tibab.
I'd like to add something. The houses that were erected in Brook Valley, that style of the structure of the buildings came back, were actually erected on Sherlock Crescent,
Yeah.
It came back.
It right on the border, yeah, said yeah. Them build them back to back.
Exactly, and it's those buildings. And in fact, when Baby Sam did his video with Alicia Keys, it was actually in front of those new buildings that were built where they had that huge common on Sherlock Crescent. And so they built Brook Valley style houses on Sherlock Crescent. And I remember when those buildings were being constructed.
Yeah,
So all right, Tibab, we'll come back to you. So why you move by Dwelly Park?
Oh my goodness. I'd say I was in, let me see. Oh my gosh.
I used to have a Pembroke primary, but you live at Dwelly Park, right?
Yeah. Still going to Pembroke primary.
Okay, all right. So early in the 70s. So what was it like when you moved to Dwelly Park then, compared to Pembroke? Let me ask a question. People ask a question. And which part of Dwelly Park you live?
Okay, the first part of Dwelly Park I lived was on Wordsworth Avenue, Charlie. And that's the border between New Heavens
Oh,
and the western part of Duane Park.
I know you talk. I go to the west side, yes. But it's not up in the
Exactly.
valley. It's not up in the scheme part with the double deck house in there.
No, where the bungalows were.
Yeah, the bungalows.
So we were at Words.
I know you talk. Go there, have a friend in the side of Duane Park. I know exactly where.
You know, I live right beside the Doodle Tank.
Doodle Tank, exactly. That's the bottom of Wordsworth Avenue and Bunyan. Exactly. Bunyan is around the corner.
I mean, like the one that the one that you and then you talk about. More than what you talk about.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the same thing.
Yeah,
and you know,
we never less charitable things from a call, but we never say it.
Yeah,
yes.
you know, if you say Duane Park and you go to when they were building some of the settlement in Israel, it's nearly the same thing, you know. It had a Doodle Tank, the same housing scheme development, the same settlement. Because if you think about it, the 1964 war between NASA and
yeah man. When Egypt there try overrun Israel, yes.
Yeah. It's the same housing development like Duane Park. The little matchback homes
or something like that.
Yeah.
I worked on some of them. I worked on some of those.
Yeah, man, the matchback.
I was with a builder here in Florida, owned by Jewish guys, and I worked on some of those Shabbat. You know, when Sharon was prime minister.
We don't want to go too much of that, you know. We don't want to go to
yeah, we can.
Deep.
Yeah.
Got you. So I was telling you, so I was at Wordsworth Avenue.
Yeah.
Then from Wordsworth Avenue, we moved to Hawthorne Avenue, which was off Lowell Avenue, closer to Sherlock. And then from Sherlock, from Hawthorne Avenue, we just went over to Sherlock, which is about a 5-minute walk. And then from Sherlock, we went to Bunyan Crescent, where Charlie was, where Howard was.
Bunyan Crescent. Yeah.
I let him just say that in the park, Tibab.
Yes.
Yeah.
All of them. And but the houses on Hawthorne Avenue after we left Wordsworth, it was like a double-decker type house. You had the bedrooms upstairs and the living room downstairs. And similar houses were on Sherlock Crescent. And from there we went to a house on Bunyan, a beautiful home, a single family home, a single deck, and that's where I met Howard. And Howard was older, and so I used to follow him all over the place. And he was my mentor. And you know, he yes, very much.
And for context,
and he got me interested
for context. How old are you? How old are you now? Get a context in terms of
I'm 67.
Oh, so about 6 years older than me. I'm 62 this year. Yeah.
I'm Social Security, buddy. Social Security Medicaid.
You're lucky.
I'm 62 going 63 and my Social Security too.
Yeah.
Don't take it as it. Don't take it until you're 65.
No, man, take it early. Trust me.
I would ask you to answer why when my time come up. My time come up.
I did a complete analysis. So I can send it to you.
We can, yeah, man.
It can take you a number of years to make back the money that you're gonna get in the first 3 years before. In that 3 year period.
You know me say about that already, Trumper. Anytime I get money, I know I want it. No. You see the marshmallow test? That's the biggest scam they've ever pulled on people. And I go up on a time to do that. If your money if your money being appreciated, you want it. No.
Yeah. Well, I waited until I was 66.
It's not even so much as the money depreciate because you're earning interest on it. So the depreciation may not be as big. Because it's earning interest, right? So the difference between inflation and interest may not be such a big deal. But the big thing is that let's say you get $3,000
a month
if you take it early, and you'd get $3,500 if you take it late. That $3,000 you get it for 36 months. To recover that later on is enough. Some number of years you have to work. Forget that. Now the risk you might run. If you do not do like what I did in terms of retiring, if you continue working, it might be highly taxed, you know, by taking it early. So there's a thing, you know, depending on how much money you earn, the taxes can be hefty.
Depends on how you work, bro. All right, now you talk about that.
Yeah, man. I have a full analysis.
Because guess what? We might have to do a program about that specifically, because a lot of people listen to us might have a question upon their mind, Should I or should not?
Well, I'll give you the genesis of why I started to look at it. My family, all of my brother, Tibab know this, died very young, relatively.
And I'm not getting nothing.
Yes.
So if you kind of know your life expectancy, it don't make sense you wait.
But
you understand?
That's what I'm saying to that number without knowing that, And them want increase that social security. Them say social security age, just by the time you get it, you're dead quick afterwards.
Yeah.
You're not getting a benefit. It's not somebody, let me go up on a tangent on that. Me not get political.
No, keep going where you go, because you're right. Once we get Pembroke going, there's a variety of things. We have enough professionals and experts in certain categories. We can bring them on.
Definitely.
Even like Howard, we can bring them on for different things.
I want to get to the next other thing. Howard have some information about the Corner League. But Tibab, thanks for listening to part 1 of this conversation. Make sure you subscribe to Permacard Memories YouTube channel so you don't miss part 2 of this conversation, as it will go directly to your inbox once you subscribe to Permacard Memories YouTube channel. Thank you. Thanks for listening to Permacard Memories podcast. And remember to give us all the support you can on whatever social media platform you are listening. A special thanks to my production manager, Cameron Wright, who takes care of everything in getting the podcast out every week. And without him, I would not be able to do what I love doing, having memorable conversations with Permacard members. Thank you. So, remember to like, share, and subscribe these Permacard members' conversations, so neither you nor your friend can miss another episode. Thanks. The views expressed by guests on this podcast are their own, and their appearances on the program does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent. While we will not add statements made by a guest, we reserve the right to exclude statements or remarks that might be considered inflammatory. Thank you.